I'm here in Los Angeles, Hollywood Times, and I'm so happy to have these two guests on today, and I want to let them introduce themselves. Thank you so much.
My name is Jason Goldman. I'm the director and producer of Rowdy Girl, calling in from Atlanta, but a New York local for 20 years.
I'm Renee King-Sonnen, and I'm calling in from Waelder, Texas, just outside of Austin.
Is that where you're from, Renee?
No, I'm from Houston.
Oh, okay. Well, we both have an accent. My accent's coming out probably because your accent is on right now. So
Are you from
I
Texas?
feel at home. Yeah, I'm from Alabama originally.
Oh, okay. Well, you're from the deep South too.
Yes, the deep South.
Yeah.
Jason, so yes, we're talking about Rowdy Girls, y'all's film. Um, how did you come up with the story, and are you yourself a vegan?
Yes, I've been vegan since about, I'll come up on my 8-year anniversary now, since 2016, spring 2016. And, you know, I've been working in the film industry since about 2003, 2004. And this is my first film as a director. My background is mostly producing. And I reached a point in my career where I'd spent many years helping other filmmakers pursue their dreams and visions for film. And I needed to tell my perspective, my point of view with the world. And, you know, documentaries, filmmaking, certainly my passion. And at that point, you know, and still is, of course, animal rights, veganism was really important to me. And I wanted to take an opportunity to make my film about something that was deeply, deeply personal to me. And that kind of put me on the path to figure out what would that film be, how would it feel, who would I look to focus on, or what would it become? And that brought us to kind of here where we are today.
Yeah, and Renee, you are the subject of the film. You converted from being an animal-based rancher to a plant-based rancher. How difficult was it financially to make this work in the beginning?
Oh, well, you know, I wasn't thinking about the money in the beginning. I was thinking about the cows. So all I knew is that I couldn't continue seeing the cows go to the sale barn once I went vegan on a cattle ranch. You know, I didn't anticipate going vegan on a cattle ranch. It wasn't in my plans. I didn't have a vegan advocate, you know, trying to convince me to go vegan. It was just a calf named Rowdy Girl. And so money never entered into it for me. Now, my husband, he was the one, because he wasn't the one that went vegan. He was the one that was like, Renee, you know, how are we going to pay the bills? How are we going to pay, you know, all the tractor notes? How are we going to pay the insurance and the taxes and da 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 da? It was him. I was
Yeah.
going to make him figure it. He was going to have to figure it out.
Is the market there for such a conversion to be sustainable on a broader basis?
Is the market here to for? Well, it has been. I think when your passion aligns with desperation, you find a way.
Good, good, good. And Jason, you know, I'm skipping around a little bit because I have so many questions with so little time. How did making this film affect you on a personal level? Can you talk about some of the challenges you faced making it?
I think a lot of people can spend their time on the sidelines and find a cause they believe in, but for one reason or another, maybe they're more private about their ethics or their morals. They don't feel like they can be participatory in that movement, whatever it is. And that was similar to me. You know, I went vegan in 2016. I didn't go to a march or a protest. I didn't take any direct action. I didn't get involved in the activist movement. And I think what this film does is has to change that for me. And it's also changed how I want to approach film in the future. So not only do I see making these kinds of documentaries as a form of activism, but also it's become my priority in my career and my work as an artist to make films about things that I care deeply about as a way to impact the world and open people's hearts and minds to seeing things differently.
I'm sure Rowdy Girl Ranch doesn't exist in a vacuum. what was the initial reaction? Probably, I'd like to hear from Renee, actually. What was the initial reaction to your conversion to plant-based ranching by your neighbors?
You know, I am asked that question a lot. Initially, when I first went vegan and started, when we started Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, that was February the 20th, 2014, when we became a nonprofit. Prior to that, our neighbors didn't know anything except for my husband's partner. Everything that I did was online. My outreach, the way that we became a nonprofit was because of vegans around the world. It wasn't because of our next door neighbors. They would have shut me down in a heartbeat had they. But I mean, yeah. I mean, we're the first documented beef cattle ranch in the world to go vegan and live to tell about it. So because of that, I it never occurred to me to go ask what anybody else thought, especially my pastor at the Presbyterian Church at the time, and some other people. I didn't want their opinion. What I was doing, I was dead on focused to do whatever I needed to do to get the funds I needed to transition this ranch into a sanctuary. And then the people around me, they were like, "Wow, have you seen what happened over there at the Sonnen Ranch?" It was like it already happened before they even knew it. It had happened, and so then a lot of people were like, "Hey, live and let live. That's Texas. You just do what you want to do." And then some of Tommy's friends, a few of them kind of looked at him sideways. His partner, Robert, quit working with him altogether because people are challenged when they're faced with their own ethics around eating animals, especially when it's your business.
Mm-hmm. Do you think veganism is on the rise in the United States, and are other ranchers embracing?
I think veganism is on the rise. It's not happening near as fast as I would want it to happen, but I believe it is the one social justice movement of our time right now that is accelerating. It's got an arc that's steadily going up. The problem is animal agriculture still has so much of a foothold on the world through subsidies, animal ag subsidies, all the insurance bailouts and whatnot for, animal ag farmers. But, as far as other farmers transitioning and seeing things different, of course they are. Our story has caused a ripple effect. We've had people contact us, talk to us, that would never, ever talk about this with anybody. It's kind of like an alcoholic, that doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to get sober. They want to talk to somebody that's gotten sober and they can tell them how to get sober and stay sober. So when cattle ranchers hear about our story and they're having this same ethical dilemma, they reach out to me because here's somebody that did, and they've lived to tell about it. So I've had a lot of people contact me and either transition or be in the midst of transitioning. A lot of times people are in the midst of transitioning and they don't even know it.
Interesting. Jason, challenges aside, what are some of the positives, the personal rewards for you of making this film?
Well, certainly the first reward would be if anybody comes up to me before, during, after, anytime during a screening and says that they're changing, right? They're going to stop eating animals or doing things differently. Like the film really resonated with them. We worked with 3 camera people. The first camera person, he went vegan within hours after going to Rowdy Girl Sanctuary because, and that has been my whole thesis all along, is that once you take down the barrier between people and the animals that they are accustomed to eating, it changes the entire relationship. And whether or not you make a switch right away or it takes time, it starts to erode those misconceptions that these animals are here for us to eat, that this is a natural thing. So yeah, when people come up, speak to me, comment online, how this film has impacted them to make a different choice, to think of things differently, then that is as happy as I could be.
Is there anything else you both would like to say about the film? Because I want to ask Renee about her tattoos, if you don't mind. What's on them? What's on your arms, I should say?
Well, this is my first one. Vegan, rowdy girl, cow mama.
Okay.
My first one, I
Strong.
got it when I was 60.
Okay. Good
And
girl.
then I got this one when I was 65. And that is, of course, that's me. And that is Houdini. And Houdini is Rowdy Girl's firstborn daughter. And I consider her my granddaughter.
Fun. And so the name of the ranch, the name of the farm, what? Why Rowdy Girl?
Well, Rowdy Girl is a cow. That's Houdini's mama. And so Rowdy Girl came to me because my husband, God bless him, he was trying to get me more involved in the cattle ranching business, and it backfired on him. At the time, I was producing a lot of music. I'm a country western singer, and I had a Texas women in country music show band. Mostly all really dynamic, women up front that could not only sing but play guitar and flute and saxophone and you name it. They were just like dynamic. And so I was all busy doing that and promoting that. And I really didn't want to do anything with the cattle ranching. And so my husband wanted me more involved. And so he came home one day and told me about two little calves that needed a mama. And he actually manipulated me in so doing, because he knew I had a heart for babies. I'd always wanted my own children and couldn't have them. And so it was like, these poor little calves need a mom. They're right up the road. So I went up to look at them, and I just fell in love instantly. The little black one with the white heart on her head, that's Rowdy Girl. And she came bouncing, really little bitty thing, skinny, came bouncing out like a little rowdy girl. And I said, well, isn't she a little rowdy girl? And so that's how Rowdy Girl got her name. And I started bottle feeding the both of them. Little Bobo died within a week. She had a failure to thrive disease. She never got her colostrum. But Rowdy Girl thrived, and she became the reason I wanted to get up in the morning, the reason I wanted to get out in the afternoon. And she became my vegan advocate. The little calf did. And so the name of the sanctuary is after her. And I became her surrogate. And her mission lives and breathes through me. I guarantee you that I was already kind of rowdy, but I was not near as rowdy as I am now back then. It's all because of her.
Ah, what a story. What a story. How'd you both find each other, Jason and Renee? How'd y'all find each other to do this?
Yeah, I was, researching different sanctuaries, because that's ultimately what kind of story I wanted to tell. What is a sanctuary? What is the point of rescuing 100 so animals when billions are killed every single year? And through a couple intermediaries, I finally was able to get in the phone with Renee. I never heard of Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, but I was still intrigued by the proposition of making a film about a sanctuary. And certainly over the phone, even in this interview, you can get a sense that Renee is very confident about who she is and what she believes in, because it's very pure. And I learned that not only did they have a rescue for farmed animals, but they were also helping other ranchers and farmers transition to go plant-based. And I thought that could help extend that emotional connection that I was really hoping to achieve. Not only can you see people who have done this kind of transition, but you can see others who are on the similar path, meaning that this is not a one-off. This is a universal experience, a universal feeling, something that I had gone through, recognizing that I no longer want to participate in animal agriculture, and Renee had done it. And now we could find other people like her and Tommy who could make that transition.
So tell us, before we close out, where's the film right now? Are y'all doing circuits, festival circuits? What's next? How can we find it online, or find you both on social media?
Absolutely. So rowdygirlfilm.com, that'll have all the information you would need about the film. We're also on Instagram, Rowdy Girl Film, and Renee's awesome page, Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. She's all over the place. You can't miss her. Right now, the film still has a couple more festival runs. We're going to be playing in Brazil at the end of this month and Ukraine at Docu Days. We have a festival in Vermont. It's called the Vermont Folklore Independent Film Festival. On May 24th, we're playing in Manchester, Vermont. And then we are now kicking off our theatrical run. So we're starting in New York for a week, starting May 31st at DCTV Firehouse Cinema, which is a fantastic art house theater featuring a lot of documentaries, but a wonderful screening room in downtown New York. And then we're going to be heading over to LA for one night at the NoHo Laemmle on June 6th, and then a week at the Laemmle Santa Monica. And this is just the start. There are other theaters that we're connecting with throughout the country. So our goal is to get the film out to art house cinemas throughout the US, and as much as possible get me and ideally Renee to be there in person, so folks can engage her and learn and just be in her presence, which I highly recommend.
Oh,
Good.
thank you.
Anything else, Renee, you want to add?
I just want to tell everybody what an awesome experience this was. Working with Jason was like working with somebody in my family. He became a real part of our life. I never ever felt like I was being intruded upon, and yet he got to see very intimate parts of our lives. It was a really interesting kind of marriage of creative expression and heart. And he got to really tell it beautifully. I can't tell you, when I watched it for the first time, I still tear up. Every time I watch it, I cry.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to say thank you, for that process. And I've written a book that is United Talent Agency is my agent in New York. And I'm speaking to a major publisher right now. Jason, that's what I wanted to tell you all about. I'll tell you about it. I can't tell you who right now, but it's really cool and fun and exciting to know that so many great things are happening. The movie could eventually be a major film. I mean, the story. So there's just a lot going on. And I'm just deeply, deeply honored and humbled that Jason saw us the way he did.
Well, congratulations on the book. We're HollywoodTimes.net. Our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official, so we'll be promoting the movie. I'm sure that the publicist will be sending you a copy of the article soon. And it was a pleasure getting to know both of you here on Zoom, and maybe we get to know you in person soon. So, yay. Thank you. Keep up the great work. And we'll be spreading the film around. We'll be spreading the article around. So, yay, bravo.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again. Okay. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.